Hi, my name is Charity. I'm a cognitive behavioral therapist, and I'm inviting you to hashtag Get Real with me and Canadians for Canadian Mental Health Week. Specifically, I invite you to hashtag Get Real with us and share your pandemic problem list, your miss list, so the things that you missed during this pandemic and self-isolation, and then your pandemic perks list if you have that. And this is in the aim of practicing vulnerability, real sharing, and support as well for yourself, for others, and for our community as we go through this community nationwide and international trauma. So I'm going to start with my pandemic problem list. And I invite you, if you choose to share a pandemic problem list, to allow yourself to just be vulnerable. Whatever is on your list, just share it. Don't excuse it away. It is something that is valid, no matter how large or how small for you. We're all grieving during this time. We've all experienced loss at different levels, and you don't need to explain that away. So that is a practice in vulnerability, to just own that's on your list, and don't try to rationalize it or explain it away. Just allow it to be and experience that solemnness as you share those pandemic problems. So on my pandemic problem list, so I have stress. Most of mine are related to stress and worry. So I found it the biggest daily stress actually is just working full time. My husband works full time, and then we have 4 children, the youngest of whom is 2 years old. So often I'm trying to wake up now. I think the best thing is to just try to wake up by 6 a.m. and work, get a good solid chunk of hours in, and then spend 9:30 to maybe 4 with the children, or until my husband's done work, and then flip and work another few hours, or try to have my meetings if I can. But I found it to be really, really stressful trying to manage all that and homeschool and manage my toddler while both of us are working. I worry a lot about my business. So we own 4 clinics, and we have a teaching program. And we, like every business, have been hugely impacted by COVID-19. We've had a lot of grace, and I'm happy for some of the programs that are coming out. It took a bit though from the Canadian government, but I've worried a lot that if we close our doors, who is going to be there in these communities that we serve? I know there's other services, but we typically see a lot of people. And I worry about our business just thriving in the long term, and I worry about having to lay people off. I really, really don't want to do that. And we've been making sacrifices, my partner and I, so we don't have to do that. But I worry about those things a lot. And I spend a lot of time doing everything I can right now to ensure that that's not happening. I worry about my mom and other family members and friends who are frontline workers. My mom is a nurse practitioner. And she works in Northern Ontario, so there hasn't been a lot of cases where she's been yet, but she... she's at higher risk if she gets COVID-19, and so I worry about her. And I worry about my in-laws who have pre-existing health conditions, and my son who had repeated pneumonia and different problems when he was younger, and so I worry about them. And my last one is just worrying about shortages. I know food shortages and other things, and we've always shopped at Costco for like the last 10 years, so we had lots of toilet paper when that day came. But then some things have just surprised me. Like I didn't know that yeast was going, that you couldn't find yeast anymore at some point. And so I do worry about those things. So those are my pandemic problems. Most of them for me are worries and stress. But I invite you to share yours. Now my pandemic miss list. So my miss list, things that They're little tiny losses, but I just really miss and I can't wait to have again. So people, I miss people. I miss connecting with people. I miss shared hugs, shared meals, shared conversation. I miss just seeing people's faces and interacting together. So I really miss that. I miss going to the movies and eating out and shopping. I miss shopping a lot more than I thought I would. I miss I miss all the things that take way longer now, like making calls to the bank and being on hold for an hour or two sometimes. I miss not experiencing that. I miss haircuts. I needed a haircut before the pandemic, and I miss having a haircut. And I miss my eyelash extensions. So again, anything can be on your miss list, no shame. But I miss eyelash extensions and getting my nails done. So that's my miss list. And now to pandemic perks. So the good things. And as you go through these things, it's important to validate all the emotions that you're feeling as you go through. And the reason why I made my list the way I did, the problems, the miss list, the perks list, is just to have that balanced thinking, but also allow myself to feel those emotions. So validate those emotions, good and bad, as you go through these lists. So my perks. I love wearing slipper socks during the workday now. So I love that. I love looking down at my slipper socks. And when I go into the office again, I think I'm just going to bring slipper socks into the office. So I love slipper socks. I love that I learned to make amazing gluten-free bread for my family. We eat fresh bread every day, and it's just a lovely thing. I love spending more quality time with my kids. So they've been difficult to manage in the homeschooling piece, but I really love spending that quality time and learning more about them and having more of those quality moments with them. A perk, even though the homeschooling has been really difficult for me personally, I taught my son how to read. So with my two older children, I was more just like a reading assistant. But with him, I actually taught him how to read. And so that feels amazing. That's a huge accomplishment for me and for us, for him and for us. But it felt really awesome to be able to do that. And other perks are just seeing the way that communities and people have come together, information sharing, service to one another, service projects, and just supporting one another. Although there's been so much community and nationwide and international trauma and tragedy, and stress and discomfort and all those negative things that's come with this global pandemic, people have risen to the challenge and really come together in all sorts of capacities. And I'm so grateful for that, and to see those small acts of daily heroism from the frontline workers and other people, and acts of mercy and kindness. And it's been interesting for me to be able to provide those moments or acts of kindness, but also to receive those. And so thank you to everybody who's provided those to me, and everyone who's chipping in and rising to the challenge during this time to keep our humanity and connection and kindness going. And pandemic perk, last one, is that I can still work. I recognize there are stresses with that, but I'm really grateful for my job and for the people I still work with virtually. So please share with us, #GetReal, one or all of your lists, your pandemic problems, your miss lists, and your pandemic perks list. Thanks so much for listening, and please share yours. I'd love to hear it.